This has to be one of the lightest wireless gaming mice on the market. At just 55 grams, this is lighter than the Logitech G Pro X wireless Superlight, which sits at a hefty 63 grams instead. And this thing boasts 80 hours of battery life. Incredible, I know. Let's take a look at this thing a bit more closely and see if it's worth your cash. The glorious Moto O is a mouse for palm grippers for sure. It's on the larger side and fairly flat too. You would struggle to claw grip this thing, and smaller hands might even struggle to palm the thing in the first place. Now happily my larger hands fit this perfectly well, making it pretty comfortable throughout my gaming sessions. The biggest drawback to the design is how damn slippery the thing is. They have used a slightly textured finish on the shell, but it's still pretty smooth and rather featureless, making it easy to lose grip. Now, happily, the complete lack of weight in this thing does make up for that quite a lot. And while actually gaming, I don't think I had any issues with being able to hold on even while flicking quickly. I've used fairly lightweight mice before, but I don't think I've used one that's this light before, and possibly more importantly, the lack of a need for a cable permanently attached makes this another level of lightweight gaming freedom. Being able to flick this around without having the snake attached and dragged along with it is fantastic. Importantly though, the Moto O Pro wireless will still work wired via the strain-relieved USB-C cable with the sort of paracord styling. It will both charge actually pretty impressively quickly too, likely thanks to the minuscule actual capacity of this thing, and function with actually slightly lower latency as well. So if you don't mind the umbilical cord, it might actually be a little bit better. Actually, gaming with this thing was great, save for one little thing. With all of the stock settings just straight out of the box, I had a bit of an issue with the mouse double clicking. Now, I noticed it specifically in CSGO while I was trying to rapidly single fire a rifle, and it turns out that the debounce click setting in the glorious core software is a little misleading. Setting this to 0 milliseconds meant that my double clicking issue went away completely. Once that was set up, the O Pro was phenomenal. While I'm nowhere near skilled enough to make use of, or full use of a mouse like this, I still felt just a little more pro at clicking on those bots, and I'm sure I'll be part of the global elite in no time, I'm sure. Anyway, I genuinely actually enjoyed using this, especially playing more competitive FPS style games. Now, if you've seen some of the earlier reviews of this mouse, you might be a bit confused why I'm not talking about this thing creaking and rattling. For those unaware, some of the earlier batches of these mice appear to have had some QC issues, which led to a few creaks and rattles. I'm happy to report though that it seems Glorious took the community feedback seriously, as my model, one of the sort of, I guess, later production ones, is functionally perfect. There are no rattles to be heard, there's no, loose mouse clicks or anything like that, and you can even press on the shell in pretty much any direction without it, cracking, rattling, without a sound, and also, quite impressively, without it caving in either. One place I ended up having a bit of an issue with was in their software. Now, everything worked fine for controlling the DPI steps, which is indicated by a lone RGB LED on the bottom next to the glorious BAMF sensor in the power switch, which obviously indicates what DPI mode you're in depending on the color, and even for setting things like the debound setting. But when I tried to check for any firmware updates, it locked the utility up completely. I tried both wired and wirelessly, with wireless getting 50% before locking up. It's not a big deal, as it didn't brick the mouse itself nor the dongle, and especially after changing the debound setting, I have no issues with it. I have no need for firmware updates necessarily, but hopefully it is something that Glorious can look into for future updates. Regardless of that, I'm very much a fan of the Moto O Pro. It's, at least now anyway, well built, it feels great, at least in my hand, and games like a champion. And for its current price of £100 at OverclockersUK, who are the ones who sent me the mouse to review, it's a pretty good bargain compared to the Logitech Superlights, which is anywhere from £5 to £15 more expensive right now. Considering the lower weight too, if an ultra-competitive mouse is what you're after, then it'd be rude to ignore this as an option. While I am no pro gamer, I could happily see myself using this, especially for more competitive FPS style games. The only thing that I wouldn't mind seeing included is an extra set of PTFE pads in the box. Although, interestingly, the ones that came on the mouse came with their protective film still applied to keep them as pristine as possible. Still, it's hard to argue that this isn't a great choice. With that said, those are my thoughts, but I would love to hear yours in the comments down below. What do you think of the Model O Pro Wireless? Is it one you would pick up yourself, or would you actually pick it up over the Logitech Superlight, or would you go with that one instead? Or actually, also, for lightweight mice, do you mind the Swiss cheese holes you often get in them, or do you prefer this style of actually complete shell, even if it is a little on the thinner side? Feel free to let me know in the comments down below. If you're interested in picking one of these up, I'll leave an Overclockers UK affiliate link in the description if you want to check it out, and that's kind of it. If you want to see more videos like this one, you can hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification icon. You can also check out plenty of other videos on the end cards, maybe some of the other glorious mice review, and that's kind of it. If you want to support the channel, feel free to check out the links in the description. You can support through YouTube, Patreon, pick up a hoodie or t-shirt like this one, or a load of other designs I made myself, or the other links that are in the description that generally don't cost you anything but help me out when you do use them. Otherwise, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, we'll see you on the next video.